All small judgments, all minimal difficulties. If all of it manages to get under your skin, you're surrendering your power. The truth is, the most mentally resilient people don't have fewer challenges. They've just mastered how they respond. Picture yourself moving through life unshaken. No more overanalyzing, no more emotional reactions, just complete self-control. In this video, I'll show you how to condition your mind to respond as though nothing affects you, so you stop being a slave to your emotions and start owning them. Because once you develop this skill, nothing and no one will ever hold power over you again. Mastering the nothing bothers me. Mindset life is noisy. It's full of outside opinions, daily irritations, and unexpected obstacles. The world constantly throws distractions, judgment, and resistance your way. But what if I told you that real strength lies in becoming unaffected? Imagine walking through a storm without flinching, without losing your balance. This is what it means to carry the mindset that nothing disturbs your peace. The secret? Learning to separate your emotions from external triggers. When you let outside events control your internal state, you're handing your power to the world. But when you train your mind to stay grounded, you become the one in control of your destiny. People respect those who stay calm in chaos, who don't collapse under stress. When you live with this mindset, you exude quiet strength. You carry presence, confidence, stability. Think of the most influential figures in history. They weren't the ones who lashed out at every insult. They moved with calm authority, as if they knew something the rest didn't. Their strength came not from reacting, but from remaining composed. That's the real power of indifference. It doesn't need to speak loudly or prove anything. True presence commands respect through quiet strength and an unshakable mindset. Master this and you master life. To remain grounded, reflect on the strongest individuals you know. They don't act on impulse. They don't allow emotions to steer their decisions. Instead, they pause, they evaluate, and they respond with intention. It's not that they lack feelings. It's that they've learned to lead them. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you suppress what you feel. It means you know how to manage it. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a heated argument, and the other person is trying to push your buttons. Do you lash out? Do you hand them control over your emotions? Or do you remain composed, smiling inwardly, knowing their words are powerless unless you give them meaning? Emotional detachment means refusing to give away your peace. It's recognizing that your internal world is sacred, untouchable. Once you adopt this perspective, stress fades, clarity sharpens, and life's obstacles become problems to solve, not wars to fight. Remember, your thoughts shape your experience. What you consistently focus on, you invite into your life. When you let the outside world dictate your emotional state, you become a victim of your surroundings. But when you take control of your inner dialogue, you become the designer of your reality. Consider the man who lost everything. His business failed, his investments vanished. He had nothing left. Most would have crumbled. But not him. He didn't see defeat. He saw a lesson. He knew that his mind was his most valuable asset, and no external loss could take that away. With that mindset, he rebuilt everything. Stronger, smarter, better. That is the true power of detachment. When you stop attaching your identity to failure, you rise above it. One of the biggest reasons people abandon their goals is emotional instability. They let fear, doubt, or frustration dictate their actions. They begin with ambition, but fold at the first sign of resistance. But those who master detachment understand something crucial. Emotions are temporary. They don't let fleeting feelings destroy their long-term vision. They push forward, because their minds have been trained to see challenges as part of the process, not as the end. Training yourself to detach emotionally doesn't make you cold or numb. It makes you powerful. You still feel joy, sadness, and excitement, but they don't control you. You control them. Your emotions work for you, not the other way around. To build this mindset, start by taking a mental step back during emotionally charged moments. Next time someone insults you, stop. Observe what you feel. Ask yourself, does this really impact my life in any significant way? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. By refusing to react, you strip their power away. Detachment also thrives in purpose. When your vision is clear, small distractions lose their grip on you. Your focus becomes laser sharp, because you realize your energy is too precious to waste on anything that doesn't move you forward. The world belongs to those who master themselves. The more emotional control you develop, the more unstoppable you become. While others panic, you stay calm. While others react, you respond. You respond, and in doing so, you gain a rare advantage. True strength isn't found in physical force or in making noise. T lies in a calm, immovable presence, one that earns respect without ever asking for it. When you master emotional detachment, you don't just survive life's chaos, you take control of it. Mindful indifference is a superpower. We've been conditioned to believe that we must care about everything, what others think, how they judge us, how we're perceived. Society teaches that our value is tied to how much we invest in others' expectations. But real freedom comes when you realize most of it doesn't matter. Next time you're caught in overthinking, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, let it go. Most of what disturbs our peace, criticism, short-term failures, awkward moments, fades with time. Yet we give these things our energy, our focus, our emotional stability. This is why mastering indifference is key to reclaiming your personal power. Indifference isn't apathy, it's intentionality. It's knowing that your time, energy, and focus are limited, and choosing wisely where to spend them. Not every opinion matters. Not every conflict deserves your involvement. When you stop reacting to every small annoyance, you regain authority over your own emotions. You shift from being reactive to being deliberate. And that shift? It's transformational. Think about the people you truly respect. They're not chasing approval or getting flustered over small problems. They stand firm, grounded in who they are. They cannot be easily swayed because they know their worth. And that inner certainty makes them powerful. When you live by this mindset, people begin to respect you, not because you're trying to be liked, but because they can see that you are unmoved. While most are bending to fit in, you remain aligned with yourself. And that, in today's world, is rare power. Picture someone criticizing you unfairly. The average person defends themselves immediately, over-explaining or lashing out, but the emotionally strong remain composed. They know that words have no weight unless you give them meaning. By not reacting, they stay in control, not only of the situation but of themselves. That kind of self-respect speaks louder than any emotional outburst ever could. The same truth applies to success. Those who rise to greatness don't waste their energy on trivial drama or external opinions. They are focused, sharp, and committed. Every moment spent on distractions is a moment stolen from progress, and they know it. So how do you develop this mental discipline? Start by becoming aware of your reactions. The next time you feel irritation or anxiety over something minor, pause. Ask, is this worth my attention? Most of the time, it won't be. Train yourself to release what doesn't serve you. Another powerful step is to define your core values. What truly matters to you, your purpose, your peace, your personal growth. When you're grounded in your priorities, other people's judgments lose their influence. You become untouchable, not because you don't care, but because you care deeply about the right things. And that's the secret most never learn. True, power isn't about seeking approval. It's about being unfazed by rejection. It's found in the ability to walk away from what drains you, to rise above the noise, and to stay focused in a world built to distract you. In the end, it's not about caring less. It's about caring better, about directing your energy with wisdom and protecting your peace like the asset it is. Waste no energy on what doesn't deserve your focus, because once you master the art of indifference, you don't just survive, you dominate. In a world obsessed with approval, the one who stands rooted in self-worth will always rise above. Stop seeking approval. Approval seeking is a silent trap. It puts your happiness in the hands of others, turns your confidence into something conditional, something that can be taken from you the moment someone disapproves. Here's the truth. No one's opinion should matter more than your own. The second you let others define your value, you surrender control over your own life. Real confidence isn't handed to you. It's built through self-trust, through choosing to own your identity without needing permission from anyone. Think about the most magnetic people you've ever seen. They don't chase validation. They don't shrink to fit in. They own every part of who they are, flaws included, and that's where their power lies. Their strength is rooted in certainty. While the rest of the world seeks approval, they move with intention, unapologetic, unshaken. But why do so many people crave approval? Because they're afraid of being rejected, afraid of judgment, afraid of standing alone. Here's what they don't realize. The more you seek approval, the more power you hand over. You become a puppet to opinion, constantly bending, twisting, morphing into what others expect of you. And in doing so, you betray yourself. True freedom begins when you stop needing to be liked. Because the idea of universal approval, it's a fantasy. No matter what you do, someone will misunderstand you, someone will criticize, most won't care. So why live your life trying to please them? Think of the people who actually change the world, leaders, visionaries, creators. They aren't trying to blend in. They're guided by vision, not by applause. They face criticism head-on, and they stay unmoved, because their confidence is rooted in something deeper than opinion. It's built on self-belief, and that's what makes them unstoppable. Want to break free? Start here. Ask yourself, whose voice really matters? More often than not, the loudest critics know nothing about your journey. Their opinions carry no weight unless you give it to them. Next, learn to validate yourself. Celebrate your progress. Own your growth. When you recognize your own value, external approval becomes irrelevant. You stop needing applause, you know your worth. This doesn't mean arrogance. It means alignment. It means trusting your voice over the noise. It means living your truth without apology. Because once you stop filtering your life through other people's opinions, you move with freedom, purpose, and unshakable clarity. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. And that's okay. The people who matter will respect you. Not because you need their approval, but because you don't. Choose yourself. Stand tall in your values, your voice, your vision. Let go of the need to be liked, and embrace the power of not needing permission. Because once you do, you become untouchable, not because everyone agrees with you, but because it no longer matters if they don't. Handle criticism. Like a master, criticism is inevitable. But how you respond, that defines your strength. Most people fold at the first hint of disapproval. They take every word personally. They let outside opinions reshape their identity, and with each reaction, they lose a piece of themselves. But criticism is just that. Words. Opinions. Often spoken by people who know nothing about your journey. The only power criticism has is what you give it. If you react emotionally, you give it control. If you filter it through logic, you stay in control. The strongest minds don't get shaken by judgment. They assess, they extract value, and they discard the rest. No drama, no overreaction, just selective focus on what matters. The key, filter criticism through reason, not emotion. Keep what helps, ignore what doesn't, and protect your peace like it's sacred. There are two types of criticism. Know the difference. Constructive criticism is useful. It comes from people who've walked the path, who want you to grow. Embrace this. Destructive criticism is rooted in insecurity, jealousy, ignorance. Its only goal is to tear you down. Reject it instantly. Don't let it in. Picture a sculptor shaping a masterpiece. As he works, people pass by. Some admire, Some suggest, others laugh. Does he stop chiseling because someone mocked his process? No, he keeps carving, because his vision is stronger than their opinions. And that's how you win, not by silencing critics, but by being so focused they become irrelevant. Criticism is just noise, guided by inner vision, filtering out the noise. This is how you face criticism. Ask yourself, does this person have the experience to judge me? If yes, listen. If no, move on. Most criticism comes from people who've never done what you're doing. Their words reflect their limitations, not yours. Criticism is a test of emotional strength. Weak minds react, get defensive, lash out, shrink. Strong minds stay calm. They process, evaluate, and keep moving. Never let criticism steal your peace. The ones who shape the world, leaders, creators, visionaries, they were all doubted, mocked, criticized, and they moved forward anyway. Because they understood this. Criticism is the cost of progress. So the next time someone throws shade at your path, pause. Don't react. Ask yourself, is there truth here? Can I grow from this? If yes, learn. If not, let it go. Detach emotionally. Confidence is not built on compliments, it's built on clarity. When you know who you are, external opinions lose their grip. The world will always talk. Some will praise, some will doubt. Most won't care. The only opinion that matters, yours. True power is this, to hear criticism, to dissect it, and to move forward with your focus intact. The strong don't fear criticism. They use it, or they ignore it, but they are never defined by it. Keep your composure under pressure. Pressure reveals who you are. Some crack, some fold. The strong, they remain still. Why? Because they expected it. Pressure isn't rare, it's guaranteed. The storm will come. But if your mind is prepared, you'll never be surprised by it. Control is an illusion. Things will go wrong, people will disappoint, obstacles will rise, but you will not react emotionally, you'll respond with clarity, with strategy. Most people panic because they're attached to comfort. They want life to be smooth, predictable, but that's not real. And when things fall apart, they fall apart too. You must do what they won't. Train for chaos. Move with it, not against it. Think of a seasoned warrior. He doesn't enter the battlefield hoping for peace. He expects resistance, ambush, and pain, but he remains composed. Why? Because he accepted reality before the fight began. You must do the same. Life will test you, with stress, setbacks, failure. But if your mind is sharp, you will not flinch. While others panic, you breathe. While others react, you calculate. Control isn't about the world, it's about yourself. When you no longer need things to go your way, you become indestructible. Shift your view of pressure. See it as a proving ground, a battlefield, a mirror. Every moment of pressure is a chance to sharpen your calm, to flex your discipline, to show the world that chaos doesn't shake you, it reveals you. Practice composure. When things go wrong, observe, don't react. When your emotions rise, breathe, don't act. And above all, prepare. Mentally rehearse the worst-case scenarios. Visualize adversity, so when it comes, you've already seen it. Most people hope for the best. The strong train for the worst, and that's why they're never caught off guard. So when pressure builds, say to yourself, this is my test, my moment to prove control. And while the rest crumble, you will still be standing, untouched, unshaken, unbreakable. Let go of what you can't control. Suffering often begins with attachment to outcomes, to expectations, to how you think life should unfold. But reality doesn't follow your script. It doesn't care about your plans. And when what should have been isn't, you feel pain, disappointment, frustration. True strength isn't in forcing life to obey you. It's in learning to let go. Picture a river. It flows around obstacles. It doesn't resist. It doesn't demand the rocks to move. It adapts. That's how you must live. Some things will happen no matter how much you worry. The job that never came, the person who left, the failure you didn't expect. You have two choices: resist and suffer, or adapt and move. Letting go isn't surrender, it's power, the power of focus. You stop bleeding energy into what you cannot change and pour it into what you can. Clinging makes you fragile. It keeps you stuck, trapped in the past, replaying moments that can't be rewritten. But when you accept the truth, that not everything is within your grasp, you become free, unbothered, clear, untouchable. The strongest people aren't those who control everything. They're the ones who remain calm when nothing is in their control. They've mastered detachment, not from life, but from illusion. Life is unpredictable. You can fight it or flow with it. When you let go of rigid expectations, you become resilient. No outcome, no loss, no setback can break you. And here's how you begin. The next time you feel yourself holding on too tightly to a person, an outcome, an idea, ask, is this in my control? If not, release it. Train this skill. Let go of small frustrations, the slow traffic, the canceled plans, the long lines. Observe the freedom that follows. Over time, apply that same mindset to the big things, because detachment is not indifference, it's clarity. It's engaging fully in life, without being ruled by it. The moment you let go of what you can't control, you gain what others chase: peace. While the world burns with anxiety, you move steady. While they grip tighter, you let go and move forward. You're not cold. You're focused. Not emotionless, but unshaken. You've simply mastered what most never will: the art of letting go. Silence is the ultimate power move. In a world addicted to noise, silence is a weapon. Most people speak to fill the void, to prove something, to be heard. But the most powerful people? They don't speak unnecessarily. They listen, they observe, they calculate. And when they do speak, every word hits like a strike. Silence is control. It forces others to think, to doubt, to wonder what you're thinking. In conversation, the one who speaks less holds more power. Because words reveal, but silence conceals. Master silence and you shift the dynamic. You hold the advantage. People reveal themselves while you remain unreadable. Imagine a negotiation. They make an offer, expecting an immediate answer, but you say nothing. You pause, and in that pause, they panic, they second-guess, they adjust. Silence creates tension, and tension creates leverage. Even in conflict, when someone insults you, mocks you, challenges you, say nothing. They expect a reaction, an argument, a sign they got under your skin. Give them nothing, and they lose power. Your silence is louder than their noise. It forces them to wrestle with their own emotions instead of feeding on yours. Silence isn't passivity. It's strategy. When you talk less, you see more. The hesitation in their voice, the cracks in their confidence, the truth behind the mask. You become a tactician, gathering information, giving away none. There's a reason the most feared and respected people aren't the loudest in the room. They speak with intent, they act with precision, and they leave others guessing. That's power. So if you want to command a room, say less. If you want to shift power in your favor, pause. If you want to lead, dominate, and remain untouchable, master the art of silence. Because in a world that never stops talking, the one who controls their voice controls the room. Silence is the ultimate power move. Continued. Speak less. Observe more. Let the room reveal itself before you speak a single word. The less you say, the more they lean in. And when you finally speak, they listen. Use silence not only in speech but in moments of high emotion. When you're angry, stay silent. When you're insulted, stay silent. When you're pressured to react, pause. This is discipline, and discipline commands respect. Powerful people do not let emotions speak for them. They pause, they breathe, they wait. They know that a pause can hit harder than a punch. That silence in the heat of chaos is strength beyond words. Next time someone tries to provoke you, do nothing. Say nothing. Let them wonder. Let them expose themselves. In a world that can't stop talking, the one who speaks the least controls the conversation. Master silence, and you master influence. Train yourself to stay calm, no matter what. Your mind is your battlefield. What you allow in will win or lose the war. Fear, doubt, hesitation. They are the enemies. You don't need to eliminate them. You need to conquer them. The strongest minds aren't silent because they feel nothing. They're silent because they've learned not to obey their emotions. Mental toughness is not given. It's built. Repetition, resistance, routine, gratitude to kill negativity, discipline to kill laziness, detachment to kill suffering. The body grows through stress. The mind does too. You cannot expect resilience in crisis if you've trained weakness in peace. Train calmness. Pause before you react. Breathe before you respond. Most people are slaves to their emotions, acting on impulse, spinning in chaos, chained to frustration. But those who train their minds, they rise above. This is how warriors think. This is how leaders move, unmoved, unshaken, unbothered. Not because life is easier for them, but because they've trained harder than most. Every challenge is a test. Every obstacle is a weight to lift. Mental strength is forged in the small moments. Waking up early when comfort whispers, stay. Staying silent when pride screams, argue. Continuing forward when everything tells you to quit. And above all, detachment. Detach from emotions. Detach from outcomes. Detach from chaos. Not to feel less, but to control more. The storm will always come. But you stand grounded, letting it pass. Never flinching. Discipline is the sword. Detachment is the shield. And with both, you become unbreakable. The world will test you. People will challenge you. But when you've trained your mind to be calm, nothing can shake you. You move through fire with steady eyes. You don't need to explain your strength. You are the proof. Because you trained for this. You built this. And no one can take it from you. Cow. Master the art of moving in silence. Real power makes no noise. It doesn't announce. It doesn't seek approval. It just moves. The loudest one in the room? Usually the weakest. They crave attention. They need validation. But the strongest? They don't speak of the plan. They just execute it. No words, just results. Every time you talk too much, you invite resistance, scrutiny, and doubt. But when you move in silence, no one sees you coming, and by the time they do, it's too late. Power is not in talking about it. Power is in doing it. The strongest people don't post every move. They don't explain every decision. They let the silence confuse, and let their success speak. The less they know, the more control you have. Silence isn't passive. It's strategic. It leaves gaps. Others feel the need to fill. It creates mystery, and in that mystery, there is leverage. Let them guess. Let them wonder how you do it. Let your actions whisper what your words never will. You don't need to say you're building. You don't need to explain your grind. Just build. Just grind. Just win. And when success finally speaks for you, they'll listen. Not because you demanded it, but because you proved it. Master the silence. Move in the shadows. Let your results light up the room. That's real power.